I give Andy Hart a lot
tough
of
guy.
credit. He's not.
He won't even show his face on Zoom, huh? He's not going to allow us to bring his mug up on Twitch.
Wait, is my camera not on?
No, come on.
Oh,
We can't see you. Are we logged in with him?
Oh, Coop
how
might.
you- how are you?
Because Christian's got to see you now. So.
I do. I want to see what he looks like. I mean, listen, he's been. Oh, there he is. Oh, you look fine.
Yeah, but wait till you hear.
How much weight did you lose?
No,
You
but
look skinny.
I heard. He
Thanks
does.
to my friends at Awaken
There
180.
you
I
go,
am
man.
skinny.
I heard you last night with Keith, and you sounded like the clogged nose and all that. You all right?
Yeah. We're hopefully coming out the other side. I did go through a 4 hour. I generally don't think 4 hours of radio feels like it's a long time. If you're doing it right, you're with somebody you enjoy.
Yeah.
It kind of flows. Last night was a little bit of I went through a lot of cough drops, and I had to turn my microphone off a lot during that show.
Man, oh man.
Well, you get the award today.
Who is in?
What do I get?
Who is in worse shape right now? You or Bill Belichick's future?
That's a good question.
No, I think that's me. Bill Belichick, no matter what, is still a legend who's going to make a lot of money in whatever he chooses to do, whether it's coach another football team, whether it's stay with this football team, whether it's go into the TV business where he can put, tight-fitting 50s helmets on his head every week. He can do whatever the hell he wants and probably print $20 million next year. So I think he's doing okay for himself still.
Everybody is like tripping all over themselves with this his appearance on College Game Day. Like that's something that's where his real passion is. Like he doesn't want to be an actor. He wants to direct. This is a guy that is going to die with his whistle around his neck. He will be coaching to the bitter end. So do you think next year's destination will be with the Patriots or somebody else? With the Patriots, or I would say the field?
Give me the field. I've
Really?
felt this for a long time. Yeah, I felt that it was going to surprise me if he was back. I put out a poll. More than half of the fan base, based on my poll, says they don't want him back. And I know, obviously, we're alluding to Tom Curran's comments with you guys and with Early Edition earlier in the week. I trust Tom Curran, and I know there's some question as to is he reporting this, is he speculating this, but Tom Curran has been around this team longer than anybody in the media. It's been since the 90s, right? He's lived through the entirety of Belichick.
Just ask him. He'll tell you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
But
I'm a lifer.
Yeah, he is a lifer, and I am going to give him the respect that I think that deserves, and I'm going to trust him that if he had conversations with people after the Germany game, and that led him to believe that the decision has been made, and that led him to express publicly that the decision has been made, then I'm going to trust his sources and say the decision has been made. And I also, are we surprised? Like, why would we be surprised? I think a lot of us are being led in that direction by the results, the decisions, the mismanagement of the quarterback, or whatever little layers to this onion that make you cry have become this year. Like, he's a 71-year-old 3-win coach who is having his worst season, has had some of his worst games in the history of his franchise and his career. I think anybody else might have been fired already.
Does it matter if they win the next 4?
No.
Let's say they do.
Okay, so they go 4-0, which is 5-0 down the stretch.
Right. And
I think it makes it a lot harder to execute whatever exit strategy you had come up with after that Colts game. I do think it makes it harder because public sentiment will swing the other way. And can you imagine the debates we're going to have in the next month? So they beat Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So I'm assuming that Bailey Zappe's playing well. So now all of a sudden it's going to be, well, if you had just played Bailey Zappi all along, Bill wouldn't have looked so bad. They'd have a winning record. They'd be going to the playoffs right now. Then we'd get into, well, who wanted to play Mac? Who wanted to play Bailey Zappi?
Yep.
Who didn't like Bailey Zappi? Who cut him? Who didn't? Like, yeah, that's a nightmare scenario if you're just trying to execute a clean, respectful exit to this relationship, uncoupling. But I don't think it should matter. I've always believed that if you make a decision at some point, like if you think you're moving on from your head coach with 4 games to go, then it doesn't matter what happened in the 4 games. Or, the old Parcells, if you're thinking about retirement, you're already retired. Well, I think if you're thinking about divorce, you're already divorced, right? You guys might be able to tell me more than I'm not an expert in that area. You guys might be able to tell me.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're thinking about divorce, then the relationship's already over.
Either it's on the table or it's never on the table, right? I would say. So Andy Hart, based on that, do you believe?
What are you giggling about?
Lots of personal stories shared between the two
a
of us.
little bit. I was gonna because then what would it lead to? A divorce? A negotiation.
Yes.
That's what it leads to.
And that's the road we're going down here.
It seems like it, but
Because that led me, Andy, that led me to thinking that if this is the decision that has already been made with more games left to play, do you believe that Bill was given an ultimatum? Now, maybe not a direct do it or else, but in his own sly, slick, clever way, an ultimatum given to Bill, win or else.
Yeah, I do think if we go back to Robert's words over the last year plus, I mean, he certainly said, I'll be watching, right? Like there was I'll be watching and I'm paying attention. And there was different phrases. I expect a contender every year. I expect to win. That Germany game is critical or whatever the word he used to describe that and put importance on that. I do think Robert has made it quite clear his unhappiness publicly. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know how many meetings they have behind the scenes and how often he shares this tone and these types of words with Bill behind the scenes. But publicly, I think Robert has made his position quite clear. I think he's even backed off. And, I think he had sort of ultimatum type words, like 3 years ago? And then he's kind of, let's just get back to the playoffs. We don't have to necessarily be a contender every year. Let's get back to he kind of backed off a little bit over his own words, and they're not even going to reach the moved goalposts. They're not even going to come close to reaching those moved goalposts. So, yes, I think he made his expectations and his observations quite clear, and Bill has done what he's done or failed to do.
Andy Hart of WEEI.com here, regression for you. He's with us each and every Wednesday at Jumbo Hart on Twitter is where you can find our guy Andy. What do you make of the latest with Malik Cunningham, not only Baltimore plucking him off the practice squad, but the reaction on Instagram of several teammates of Malik Cunningham's?
Well, I mean, there was a lot of teammates that reacted. There was only one that I thought was really interesting. A lot of them love him. That's fine. There's a lot of guys in those locker rooms. You practice with a guy, they love him. And then there's the one guy who goes, hopefully they go where they respect your talent. That's Trent Brown. I mean, Trent Brown didn't have to say that. Trent Brown could have supported Malik Cunningham and his abilities the way all the other guys did. The guys who are professionals, who aren't trying to say something or create something or make a point. Trent Brown was trying to make a point. I think that's quite clear, right? Like he wanted to, I keep saying this, if he wanted to get that point across to Malik Cunningham, I don't think you at somebody. You text him, you call him, you FaceTime him, you do something personal. He wanted the public to know, I don't think they respected your talent here. And Trent Brown is who he is. He's opinionated, he's immature, he's mercurial, you can whatever adjectives you want to use. When he speaks, interesting things are often said by Trent Brown. And I think he feels like they didn't respect the talent of Malik Cunningham. Now, whether he knows what the hell he's talking about or not, I have no idea. Because I'll tell you, watching Malik Cunningham play quarterback for the limited time I did this summer, it was not impressive. He was not an NFL quarterback. And maybe he feels like they screwed him by not giving him all quarterback reps. I did find it interesting. Bill Belichick today, when asked about this, said quarterback. When he talked about the opportunity, the offense, quarterback. We were looking at him as a receiver, and then at some point in time, that water got muddied, and he became back to a quarterback position again. So you can question whether he should be a quarterback or a wide receiver, I guess. But the Patriots clearly invested more time in wide receiver than quarterback, and I think Trent Brown believes that you're going to see a guy that goes to Baltimore and becomes a decent backup quarterback.
Well, the other aspect about that, about Malik Cunningham and quarterback, is that Bill mentioned the system, that he would have more success and a better chance in their system, and he was never a fit with this system.
Nope.
They took a flyer on him. They proved him. They gave him a bunch of money as an undrafted free agent. They tried to make it work, but he was not ready. He was not ready, and they weren't ready to change it. And they weren't. And the other thing is that you have to be committed to changing your system, and then building it around Malik Cunningham, which there's not a chance in hell they were going to do. So he's better off for it.
I said this morning with Fitzy when we were recording a Six Rings podcast. This sounds weird, but I think this is going to be similar to Tom Brady, where a lot of people believe when Tom Brady left New England, well, if he had just stayed here, he could have won the Super Bowl here. No, it wasn't going to be the same here. He didn't have the talent around him here that he had in Tampa. It was not going to be a storybook ending in New England for all the reasons we all know. I think the same thing could happen to Malik Cunningham. He could go to Baltimore, and sometime in the next year, he could be thrust on the football field as Lamar's backup when Lamar misses a week or two to something, and he may have success. That doesn't mean he would have ever had success here in the Patriots, Bill O'Brien, Mac Jones built, designed offense, right? Like is there anything similar between Mac Jones and Malik Cunningham? Like,
no.
Is there any similarity at all?
None.
No. So I wish him well, and I think he made the right choice. Bill said they sold him on the opportunity. I don't think it was a bag job. I don't think they sold him on something that's not true. I think the best opportunity for Malik Cunningham is to go, and no disrespect meant by this, be a poor man's Lamar. Be ready to play 2 games a year when Lamar can't go. And hell, maybe you can turn it into a Pro Bowl trip like the Huntley guy did a couple of years ago, right? Like you could have a little fun. That scheme will allow you to do what you do. They're not going to ask you to go, all these pre-snap reads and make sure you get us in the right play and do this, and then the post-snap reads and find this and be accurate with your throws and this and that. No, they're going to say, go be a baby Lamar. Go be athletic. Make a couple throws here and there. Run around with your legs, and maybe we win football games.
Hart, what version of the Kansas City Chiefs are rolling in here on Sunday? And I just wanted to know, have you gotten over the massive embarrassment of being flexed out? Because I know that was a slow singing and flower bringing moment for a lot of people. I just wanted to know if it occupied your mind while you were home ill that had happened.
No, I actually still appreciate that I'll be doing a Six Rings post-game show at 4 in an afternoon on a Sunday instead of at,
It always goes back to us, doesn't it?
How about that? How about that Christmas Eve game? Oh, doesn't that suck?
Pregame begins at 10 o'clock on Christmas
I know,
Eve
but
Sunday.
if you're
what time do we schedule the Fourier call-in?
On my way home, I'll be ready.
11:30, 12:30,
whatever.
1:30. Which hour
listen,
do you want?
I'll be up. I'll be driving home. I can't get out of the post-game show for WBZ. Nope, I did last night. I was like, hey, that Christmas Eve game, crazy, right? I just left it open-ended. Yeah, same schedule. It didn't work at all. No, they're not having it. Everybody's working. What a crap. Not only do they play Christmas Eve, but they play New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but I care a lot more about the Christmas Eve one.
I know. It's just the schedule sucks. It sucks.
Hart's if I remember correctly, Andy, you're an eggnog guy, correct?
100% an eggnog guy.
What do you put in that eggnog? You put anything in there?
Maple whiskey.
Really? Maple specifically?
Whiskey.
Why maple, not just regular good old whiskey?
Because the scent before you even take a sip just sets up a certain mood, and then when you drink
sets up a certain
the
mood.
flavors,
What is it? Move on you? What's moving on you?
It is. I'm telling you,
trying to make it move.
Yeah.
Don't knock it till you tried it. Maple whiskey.
Are we 2-1? What are we thinking here? If I make one tonight,
what do you mean?
If I make a
2-1
little
what?
whiskey eggnog tonight, I'm gonna find some maple whiskey. There's a little liquor store right down the street. I'm gonna stop there.
It's not always easy to find. A backup, you can do a salted caramel or a vanilla whiskey, but the maple is the best flavor. Do not do the gingerbread whiskey. It's terrible. It is not good.
Can you taste the whiskey?
Terrible.
The maple whiskey,
Yeah.
it adds a good flavor. Yes.
Okay.
It's not. It doesn't. I'm telling you, you'll love it.
Okay.
Shot and a half of whiskey in your eggnog there.
I'm in.
Boom. Try it. Was there a question before I?
No,
I
I
think
don't know.
it was.
I think this is an interesting game, Gresh. Yes,
The Chiefs. Sure, yeah.
Because I think on one hand, if you're the Patriots and you're a real, Fitzy, pro-Patriot, optimistic type, you can say the Chiefs aren't playing well, and defensively, you might be able to give them problems. Bill Belichick, as long as he can slow down Kelsey a little bit, you might be able to give fits. Your defense is still fighting, and you now suddenly have an offense that maybe puts the ball in the end zone a couple times. Now, the flip side of that is I still treat Mahomes and Andy Reid like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and I think they are pissed off. I think they have a bee in their bonnet. I think they're feeling disrespected right now. And usually, I learned over the years, when Belichick and Brady felt disrespected or felt it was them versus the world or felt they had something to prove, usually the opponent paid for that, and the Patriots are the opponent for the Reid-Mahomes version of that right now. So I actually think there's a chance that the Patriots get absolutely blown out
and
by
I
the
agree with you
Chiefs.
because I can remember certain times where fill in the blank team pays for this loss, right?
Yep.
Somebody's going to pay for this, right?
Somebody's going to pay
yeah.
for that Tony offsides, which was the right call, which was obvious, the right call, but somebody's going to pay. Mahomes is going to just say, F it, I'll do it myself. I'll carry all you a-holes into the end zone. I think there is a
and
chance
that's why I
Patriots
think
can smoke.
and that's why I think the Patriots can win this game.
What?
I do think
me?
that there's I do because the importance of the game.
You said anybody
agreed
could
with
kick.
me.
Well, you said anybody could kick Bruce Lee's ass, and now it's the Patriots can beat Kansas City.
Well, I was just going to ask Andy Hart, how quickly if Bruce Lee was alive today, how quickly could he choke him out? And I think Andy Hart would say probably about 35 seconds.
How old is he? Like 110 at this point?
No. He's not Tales from the Crypt. He's not
vintage Bruce Lee.
Vintage Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
That guy.
How quickly could I choke him out, or could he choke me out?
You would choke him out.
No, I think
you got a
me out.
big giant neck. I don't think his little squirrely arms could get around your neck.
That's a great point. I'll take myself.
Thank
then.
you.
Changed my mind.
Always
immediately
bet
there.
on yourself.
That's right.
Hart.
Man,
Screw Bruce Lee.
the truth.
I'm telling you though, just like I think Andy Hart could beat up Bruce Lee, I think the Patriots got a sneaky good, puncher's chance of beating the Chiefs. The Chiefs they're floundering for a reason, Andy.
So are the Patriots.
I know, but they're the ones with nothing to lose. They're the ones that have more to gain, I would think, internally. I think it is a thing.
I don't mean to be the wet blanket, because I enjoyed Thursday night, and they brought entertainment back to my Patriot viewing for the first time in quite some time. But Bailey Zappi has started 2 games here, and in 3 of the 4 halves, he's been shut out, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if he gets shut out in multiple halves against the Chiefs, he's going to lose to the Chiefs. Pretty embarrassing, correct?
Victim of the moment, then? Is that what I'm feeling? Game feels like the game was a long time ago, and you forgot about the second half that the Patriots had offensively?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People have definitely – they had 2 drives, because the third was a short field that they took advantage of. Good job. But they had 2 drives in that game, and you would think they scored 50 points. You would think they marched up and down the field at will. You would think the second half was just like the first half, when the second half you actually tried to give them the game. Zappi had that pick 6 that I give Ezekiel Elliott. Great play. That's a game-winning play by Ezekiel Elliott, making sure that wasn't a pick 6. And then you got very fortunate that the referees decided that the long snapper false started.
Oh, that's a really bad call, isn't it?
It certainly seemed like it. I know people were trying to tell me, oh, Bill probably prepped him for this, and this is a talking point or no. Whatever it was, you got to really – I mean, just look at the look on Jelani Tavai's face. Mm-hmm. He was the one that's telling you, oh, he jumped off sides. He knows he effed up. He almost just lost the game for that.
Exactly right. You're all over at Hart. Well, feel better, buddy. I mean, good grief. Of all the things to get thumped with, and now – although it is a reason to stick at home, because I know where you live. If you were to go to at least Civilization westbound, you'd have to take 195 West. There's no chance of that anymore. Yeah.
They're canceling field trips around here. One of my kids was supposed to go to the P-PAC or something this week. They canceled the field trip because they say the buses aren't going to be able to get to Providence.
It is a disaster of epic proportions.
Yeah, who screwed this up? Rydot?
Yeah. There's a guy, Peter Alzidi, and they said that they kind of knew about it, but then, when these bridges start to go bad, they go quicker, and so basically, have fun. You can go north, that's it. You ain't going anywhere else out of where you're at, Hart, unless you get in the boat.
I could take the boat, a little chilly. Let me ask you guys a quick question since we're talking eggnogs, because Rich Keefe, I've been good for the week that I've been sick. We're now on a full week. I've been ill. Haven't had any eggnogs, any beers, anything. Rich Keefe advised me last night when I signed off, you know what? Just go drink. Stop being healthy. There you
go.
You got to drink out the illness. So
Agreed.
He's telling me I should sit home tonight and just have a bunch of whiskey eggnogs.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
absolutely.
Oh, you agree?
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm easily influenced.
Yeah. I mean, peer pressure. I mean, I think it's what's best for you. I would do it.
Damn it, I'm sitting on my butt in the recliner tonight. I'm going to put like Elf or something on, and I'm going to have a couple whiskey eggnogs. And see
Christmas
if I feel
story
better.
was on in our house yesterday.
And then about 4:45, that text is going to come in. Hey, Andy, Ken Laird here. You're going to be like, hi. How you doing, Ken? What are we doing tonight?
Holiday spirit, Ken.